Hi guys, welcome to the Music City Burlesque vlog. Shan Leers here. Today's post is going to be an instructable, yay, making things! I'm going to teach you how to make a really quick, simple, easy pair of heart-shaped pasties since Valentine's Day is coming up. Something for you to enjoy with just yourself or, your special someone. But it's really, really simple. It takes just a couple minutes once you get the hang of what you're doing. So what you're going to need for today is a pen, a pair of scissors, hot glue gun, a round object that is roughly the size of your areola. It can be larger. This is larger than mine, or it can be smaller. You can make your heart shape bigger or smaller depending on the size of your circle, but it is good to start with a base circle so that you know I need to cover exactly this much. So something circle shaped. The object you are going to be making your pasties out of, the fabric, today we are going to just use some of this pink sparkle foam. You can get it at any craft store for like 50 cents to $1. It doesn't really matter wherever. But it's a nice sparkle. It's got a flat, smooth back so you can fix it and you don't have to worry about glitter that way. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I also have red, black, white, purple, green, whatever color you would like. But today we are doing pink. And if you would like to trim, today we are going to trim our pasties with this white iridescent sequin strands. You can get them at any craft store as well. You can buy them by the yard or you can just buy a little roll. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your paper, which was the other thing I didn't mention, but you're going to need paper for a template, and you are going to trace your circle shape onto your paper so that you have a circle template. From here, you're going to, if you were me, this is the way that I do it, it makes it easier. I know that my pasty is going to be balanced on both sides. You're going to fold your paper in half, just hold it up to the light and you can see where the edges of the circle meet so that you can make a perfect heart shape, because if you're like me, sometimes you just need to pretend you're still in kindergarten. Let's be real. So you're going to trace your heart shape, and now you can see I came down a little bit from where the circle started to start my heart, and it goes just a little bit past my circle template, and then it also comes down a little bit at the bottom for the point past the circle. So if I unfold that, you can see that it starts lower and it ends lower. I choose to do it this way rather than having it start higher because it allows you to use that curve of the circle to get your heart shape really, really nice. So fold that back in half. Pretend you're in kindergarten or first grade and you're making a Valentine's Day heart, because guess what, you are. Just a grown-up version. And cut that out and you will have your template. You'll be left with just a pretty little paper heart. Now what you're going to do with this is you're just going to put it down onto your foam board and you're going to trace it. I always use a template because if I were to do something by hand it would be really shaky, and it's just easier to make sure it's going to be more precise if you use a template. So you trace your template, you cut your heart out. I could have done this already, but you have to watch me cut out a heart shape. So you cut out your heart, which sounds really mean, and this foam board doesn't want to cut. So you cut your heart. Make sure you stick to your lines. If you get wobbly, it's going to make the edges of your pasty look weird. It's not really that big of a deal because we are going to trim our pasties with sequins, but it just helps if it's smooth. So we have our heart shape now. Now, in order to make a pasty, since your breast is not completely flat, it does have bend to it because it has to allow for your nipple, you are going to cut a line in this pasty. It is not going to be directly straight up the center. You're going to come to the side a little bit, slightly askew, and snip to where it's roughly in the center of the pasty. Not quite, but kind of. And then what we're going to do is, for a guide, we're going to overlap. I usually do to where the point that's farther up touches the other side of the pasty, and then we have this little bit of overhang right here that you can see. And what I do is I take my pen, which I have lost, there it is. I take my pen and I make a guide mark. So it's lined up, and on the inside of the pasty I'll make a line. That way I have this guide right here, because I'm going to put glue onto the pasty, and I don't want to use too much. I don't want to go too far over. Then there will be glue all on the inside of my pasty and it'll just be a problem. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to put it in that area that I marked. I'm going to overlap. This also helps with lining it up to make sure your pasty is the right size. And hold it for just a couple seconds. Hot glue dries pretty fast. Make sure you don't burn yourself, because yes, I know, hot glue, it's hot. And then you are left with a little bit of overhang, which you can then just snip off to where it's nice and pretty and you don't have that anymore. And you now have a pretty heart-shaped pasty, and it's conical so that it will allow for your nipple to go inside. Now from here we're going to trim. So we're going to take our strand sequins, and I start at the point because that's the easiest way for me to start. It's a nice spot to just start. And you lay down some hot glue, and being careful not to burn yourself here. A nice little trick is using a cup of ice water and dipping your hand in and shaking off the excess and then pressing down on whatever it is that you're hot gluing. It's a trick I learned from Miss Freya West. So you just continue along the edge of your heart-shaped pasty with hot glue and sequins, making sure you stick to the line of the pasty. This becomes really important when you get to this divot at the top of the heart, because if you don't make it pronounced, you can have it rounded and then it doesn't look so much like a heart. So we continue along. Trying really hard not to burn yourself. So when you get to that point, just make sure, like I said, that you're making it pronounced. And continue along the rest of the edge. All the way back down to the point at the other end, and then it comes time to finish it off. When I do just a line, like an edging of sequins, what I like to do is cut 2 or 3 extra sequins off at the end of the string, so I have a couple extra sequins, and then I will put hot glue on the back of my pasty and fold it over. That just helps to not have to worry about the thread, because sequin strands are actually on a piece of thread. You don't so much have to worry about the thread hanging loose. And then, ta-da! We have a nice little heart-shaped pasty, completely lined in white sequins. Like I said, you can do this in any color combination that you like. This is just the simplest way that I had right now, and I have lots of white, so we trimmed with white, and it's just really cute little perfect heart pasty for you. Now, when you go to affix pasties to your skin, I use toupee tape. You can get it at any wig store. I usually get mine at Performance Studios here in Nashville. You can get it in little packs of, I think, 40 that come straight, or you can get curved version. I get the curved because I find that I use less tape that way. Also, it fits better on the inside of a pasty because they are rounded. Usually you don't have a square pasty, you have some sort of curvature to your pasty, so that works better for me. You can also use carpet tape and just cut it up double-sided, or liquid latex, spirit gum, glue, whatever works best for you for adhering something to your skin. Try that out a little bit. Some people's skin can have bad reactions to it. If you have sensitive skin, you're going to need to know what does and doesn't work for you. There are specific things on the market that you can use. And that's it. And you just put that little bad baby on. So I hope you guys have a nice Valentine's Day. Thanks for visiting the blog. Again, musiccityburlesque.com. You can check in with us there, or on our Facebook page, or on Twitter for news and updates about upcoming shows, festivals. We'll have more instructable videos on the blog, all kinds of neat stuff like that. And if there's anything that you have a question about specifically, you can send any one of us a message, or you can message us through our actual Facebook page or at our email, and we will get back to you as soon as we can with information to help with whatever your query may be. So thanks, guys. Keep on shimmying.